My name's Mpo Elijah Gumbi, otherwise known as Meg, and I'm the owner of ICAN. It started off as Squadra course. We've been in the motorsport game since 2013. I was part of the Mercedes-Benz development program. There was a need for me to separate the local racing team and start up an athlete management program called ICAN, because we can. Its purpose was to take the boys internationally whilst the other business Squadra course finds the talent locally. From start to finish, from the age of 5 to say about the age of 18, you're looking at about $10 to $12 million, roughly 100 to 130 million rand. But not just to progress through each category, but to perform is what you need to do when you're knocking on the doors of Formula One. Karting is essentially where most professional racing drivers start. Typically, the path from start to finish for Formula One, you start at karting, and then at 15 you go main circuit, you go, let's say, Formula 4, then Formula 3, then Formula 2, then Formula 1. And each one of those steps you get super license points, which allows you then to say you are ready to drive a Formula 1 car. Most of the Formula 1 teams, or most of the professional racing teams, are based abroad and are based in Europe and of course in the Americas. You basically want to go operate to be seen. Secondly, most of the regulated championships that makes you meet the requirements are in Europe, and for you to get super license points you need to be in a category that's sanctioned by the FIA that awards super license points, and up to date there's none in Africa. Obviously the rest of us, we need to go to Europe for the time being to collect those points. Can you participate if you don't have any funding? Sure, you can, but it gets quite harder and you probably have to use much more imagination than a person that's the normal route. Imagination will probably be, maybe you start with virtual racing, and you know what's what we have these days, and we call it simulator driving, right? There's a kid that Max Verstappen has taken from virtual racing and is racing with him in the endurance races, which is, you know, a nice path to have gone through. In Formula One themselves, they have simulators, so they are looking for great simulator drivers to come drive with them and run their simulator programs for them. So there's a job opportunity there. Maybe just because you're in a sim, maybe they give you a shot in a Formula One car. I'm not sure. I'm not from a wealthy background, and I just used my imagination to get somewhere. I wanted to be a racing driver when I started with, especially when I started with Mercedes-Benz, and I've turned out to be an importer, a team owner, a talent manager. I'm an owner of those 3 companies. I've been using my imagination along the way. We set up ICAN so that we leave no stone unturned. We take a holistic approach when we develop an athlete. So we look after not just placing them and negotiating them into desired programs, but we also look after their health. We look after their training regime. We look after their education. I think most of them have gone from average kids to A+ students. We've put the guys into an iGym program, which I think some of the Formula 1 drivers are on it already. We do know that most of the Premier League teams are on that. But iGym is basically helps to train your eyes. So they do that every single day. I think it's a 10-minute program. We do Roxiva as well, which is a light therapy program. The defense forces around the world use it for cognitive training, stress regulation, as well as improving your cognitive sense. Our kids are 16 and 17 years old, so we're getting closer in terms of age. We're currently in Formula 4, and we see ourselves in Formula 3 next year, and Formula 2, and hopefully Formula 1. Things can get very difficult and interesting sometimes, but I would love to say that we moved to Italy, and everywhere we moved, actually, even the UK, people are wonderful. They really take us in and try to help us. I don't think I had many run-ins with the authorities there and things, but the ones that I did have were rather looking to try to help rather than to be trying to be difficult or hard with us. But there is a cultural affinity. I mean, if you're in South Africa, you want a South African to win, right? If you're in Italy, you'd love to see an Italian to win. Now, when you go and race and you're in an Italian team, and there's a lot of Italians and you're the only South African there, you got to work hard to earn your spot. You probably have to work 3 times harder. There's a community of people that have been plugged into this journey that we have, and I can only thank God that I've had such wonderful people that have been part of the story. Well, it's not just about the race car driver, right? There's 80 different professions in the motorsport team, 2,000 people working for one team. In that sense, I think it would be great to have private and public partnerships getting together and finding ways to funding such programs and funding such athletes. You can become a team owner, you can become a promoter, which is what a Liberty Media is, within Formula One. Mechanic is another one. Maybe you don't want to work for a commercial structure and you want to work for a racing team or be part of the sport, So there's so many different things that you can do within a motorsport category. There's engineering, chemistry, mechanics, hospitality, graphic designing. I can carry on. What message can I give to young wannabe drivers or parents that want to support their kids in this journey? Passion, I think. Because times get hard. Coming second is like coming last to some people, Sometimes some people win and don't win enough and don't win by enough margin or make errors or mistakes and they're not happy with their game. My old boss says misery likes company. I'm coming with a really negative point of view about it right now. But I think in anything that you do, you've got to put passion first. It's got to be something that you love. And I think it's cliched when everybody says hard work, but I guess that's the only way to get there is hard work. It's the seat time, it's the mastering of your game, and to be able to master your game, it's very difficult to get to even to the starting block. We've seen a lot of documentaries like Usain Bolt will tell you that I didn't start running a 9-second 100 meters. He had to train very hard and had to lose a lot of races before he actually could show what's inside of him. And I think it was only passion that kept him going. I think the only thing that you need to ask yourself is, are you really passionate about this? And if you are, what are you willing to give up? Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and follow ICAN.